In the past 11 years, I've helped over 3,000 busy women over 40 look and feel their best physically and mentally without having to live like bodybuilders. And in the next 10 minutes, I'm going to share with you 5 side effects of losing the weight that nobody tells you about. Hi, my name is Miguel Diaz. I am an award-winning transformation specialist. And if you are a woman who would like to look and feel your best without all the BS advice in there, make sure you like this video if you get value from it and subscribe if you want to see more content like this. So number one is you're going to be cold all the time. Okay, if you think about it, body fat is nothing but insulation. And when you lose that insulation, then you're going to be cold a lot more often. It's kind of annoying. If you ask me, I would always take that over being 80 pounds overweight like I was at the beginning of my journey. Number two, some days you're going to feel like you look the same and like nothing has really changed. This is why I normally suggest to my clients that they not only weigh in often, but that we also look at other metrics to assess your progress pictures, taking measurements, buying smaller clothes. As you're doing the outer work, changing how you eat, changing your movement, your activity levels, you also need to do part of the internal work, which is you have to start seeing yourself as a different version of you, as the version of you that keeps her own promises, the version of you that is consistent, the version of you that doesn't feel lazy or that doesn't procrastinate as much. And so you got to train your subconscious to see yourself differently. And it might be a little bit uncomfortable at the beginning to start wearing uh, not so baggy clothes. Slowly but surely, it's changing how you see yourself. When you walk past a window and you catch a reflection, you're like, whoa, she looks really, whoa, that's me? Whoa. And it makes you stand up a little bit straighter. It makes it a lot easier for you to continue to behave in accordance with that new identity that you are creating. Number three, it won't fix the rest of your life, right? The weight is not the problem itself. The weight is just a symptom. A symptom of what? Well, it might be a symptom of your tendency to put yourself last, or to prioritize work, or to find your sense of self in what you can do for others, even at your own expense. So this is not going to just magically change all of that, right? This is why so many people have a gastric bypass or the band or what have you, and they might lose the weight in the short term, but you fast forward 2 years, they've gained it back. Why? Because everything else in their life was still the same. If you have a job that you absolutely dread, this won't change that. If you are unhappy in your relationship, this won't change that. This is a perfect segue to number four, which is you are going to become someone else, okay? And not everybody's going to like that. Because think about it. Perhaps you got here by constantly putting yourself on the back burner. Perhaps you got here by running to help someone else when they asked you for help, even if you yourself were drowning. Or maybe you got here by only making room for you if everything was taken care of, if no one else needed anything. And that's fine. We all go through our own journey. But as you start making these changes, as you start doing the inner and the outer work at the same time, you start learning that next time somebody talks to you in a way that you're not okay with, you start learning that it's okay to set a boundary. You start learning that we show others how to treat us. We teach them how to treat us by what we tolerate. So you start setting boundaries. You start saying no. You start saying, sorry, but I can't help you. You start saying, sorry, but I don't really feel like hanging out with you. You stand your ground. Maybe back then you thought you had to be the funny friend, or you had to always be in a good mood. But now you're learning, you know what? I'd rather be okay with me than be okay with anybody else out there. I'd rather have peace with myself than keep the peace with someone else out there. And so these changes can be a little bit difficult for people out there to handle, right? Maybe they're like, oh, well, before you always used to be down for anything and everything I wanted to do. And now you're saying you don't want to? Like, how come? Not everybody is going to like the new you. you are going to love her. And then number 5 is that this transformation, and I'm talking about the transformation that happens from the inside out. This is why you need to do the inner work and the outer work at the same time, because when you do that, then the transformation is incredibly profound. What happens is, see, every time that stress was right up here, but instead of stuffing your face with Oreos or opening a bottle of wine, you went to the gym, or you went for a walk, or you journaled, or you meditated. Every time you did not feel like getting out of bed early and going to the gym, but you did it anyways. You know what's happening? Internally, you are accumulating evidence that you are becoming someone else. Okay? And those tend to be the days when you feel the most proud of yourself. When you're like, man, look at that. Like, I almost didn't do it. And I got it done. As you start accumulating evidence that you're becoming that next best version of you, that gives you a sense of pride and a sense of confidence that is not dependent on the clothes you wear, the car you drive, or how much money is in your bank account. This gives you a degree of inner peace and confidence that cannot be taken away from you, that does not depend on other people's opinions of you. And essentially, that makes you unfuckwithable, right? That's essentially what you end up becoming, because you are at peace with yourself. You've finally started treating yourself as if you were on your side. And guess what? That is something that you cannot buy. Think about it. Doesn't matter how much money you make, doesn't matter how much money you have in the bank account. You cannot buy that sense of pride and confidence that comes from the fact that you know for a fact that even when you don't feel like doing the thing, 9 times out of 10, you still do it. You keep your promises. You've become that person, right? And that's ultimately what changes your life. I used to be 80 pounds overweight. I thought that the issue was my weight. I was just like looking at myself in the mirror. I was like, that's disgusting. If I could just not have that weight, my life would be better. What I realized many years later, once I lost the weight, was that it wasn't getting a six-pack that changed my life. It was who I became along the way, who I became in the process of losing that weight. I became the version of me that keeps his promises. I became a kinder version of myself, to me first, obviously to others as well, but to me first. And I became the version of me that was able to, yes, be kind to others, but still very much honor myself and not step all over my own boundaries to make someone else comfortable at my own expense. You know what I mean? And that's when life changes. And obviously what ends up happening is every other area of your life improves as well, because you can only show up as your best at work, with your partner, with your children, or with your aging parents if you are not drowning, if you are at peace with yourself. Okay, my friends, if you got some value from this video, please give it a like so that I know that this was useful for you. And if you want to learn more about working together, then check out that link in the description and consider subscribing if you'd like to be notified next time I upload a video.